YouTube
we'll
clip?
do it live.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times when he's like pissed off right before he goes live, and then he's just normal.
Interesting that you've chosen to watch the newsroom now, as it does not have a very good reputation.
Well, I heard that, and then Sorkin was on Bill Simmons one time, and he said it was like his favorite, and he's really sad that it didn't work out. And then I read reviews, and people didn't like it because they thought it was too on the nose. But it's like, I don't really care if a show's too on the nose.
Well, they just like...
That's why I hate things. Don't like
Too on the nose.
I don't like accuracy.
Disgusting.
Prefer inaccurate things. God, I love Nick Nurse so much. He's awesome.
You know who else is awesome? I believe it's pronounced Piswell Swackham. See? Piswell Swackham.
Oh. What's fish in French? Fish in French is like...
Siakam.
Oh, poisson.
No, that's croissant.
That's croissant. That's croissant. That's croissant.
Oh, my little croissant.
Croissant.
All right, let's do this.
Are we on YouTube? Yeah. What's up, YouTube? Down, man.
All right.
Okay, ready? Hit it. Hold on. Taylor, be quiet.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Scared money don't make none.
Good morning and welcome to episode 6, 8, 9 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on CLNS Media, DailyThunder.com-radio, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcasts or watch us streaming the podcast live on YouTube on our Fripod tripod. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
Slam through.
And Taylor.
I love this bar. Slam through.
Jay's gone again.
He's a traveling man. Out there on the main streets.
Jay.
Did we know about this, or was this a last minute?
This is a
decision?
surprise.
This is a last minute. Where in the world is Jaymon San Diego?
Unbelievable. Remember, like 4 weeks ago, when he was like, "This is gonna be it for a while, though."
Yeah. Yep. Remember that?
Yeah, and I didn't believe it for a second.
Did you guys ever
None
play?
of us did.
You guys ever play Mario is Missing, where you were Luigi and you were going to famous places on Earth trying to find Mario?
No.
It's a little bit like that with Jay. Like, where is he this week?
God, where's Jay?
Where is frickin' Jay, man?
We all know he's in Toronto. And speaking of Toronto, Toronto beat the Warriors last night, 118-109 on the back of Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
32 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, only 2 turnovers, 14 of 17 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. He only shot 2 free throws and scored 32 points. He was unbelievable last night on both ends.
He was the man.
He was.
It was outrageous to watch. It was just like he was scoring. They're like, that's 11 in a row.
Dude, he hit. I mean, how many did he hit in? I think he hit 9 field goals in a row, which you'd basically have to do to only miss 3 out of 17 for an entire game. But in that third quarter, he had like half of his points just in the third quarter. He was amazing, man. His touch off the glass is kind of unbelievable. There was a weird hook shot he had in the fourth quarter, like jumping into DeMarcus Cousins, And then there was a weird step around Euro step thing over Draymond where basically he was on the side of the backboard. He was almost behind the backboard and somehow got it off the glass and it went straight in. It was crazy.
He's like a slender Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, when he did that weird half shake to Draymond, he was destroying Draymond, which you don't see players take Draymond one-on-one.
Draymond was so pissed after the game. Did you? He said he's trying to give him credit. He's like, I just got to take him out of the series. Just got to take him out of the series. It's like, okay. Why didn't you take him out of that game? Draymond did have a triple-double, though. 10-10-10 triple-double. He almost had a quadruple-double. He had 6 turnovers.
Ooh. Listen, when Draymond says, I got to take him out, you got to suspend Draymond because we all know
That's so true.
That's a direct physical threat. That is
true.
not about sports.
He's coming for those nuts.
He's coming for them.
He's coming.
Hey, guys, you know what? You need to come to
That was
our NBA draft party.
For reals.
On June 20th. Y'all, that's a Thursday at Banquet Cinema Pub, which is an all-ages location. This is an all-ages NBA draft party. If you've been listening to us since you were 10, you're like, man, I can't go to any of these things. You can come to this. It starts at 6 June 20th. We will have our mock draft competition. Winners get a big prize. It's where you go through and you guess which teams draft which person. And if you're right, there's big time prizes. It's free to enter, but you must be present to win. It's going to be fun. The food's going to be good. The drinks are going to be good. And it's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. It's going to be our best party ever. So you should be there.
Our draft party last year, great.
Super great.
Great.
I'll be sending out a link for the draft competition soon. Micah Adams is just the man and helping us out again. Has created a website for us. I will send out the link on Down to Dunk on my Twitter account. All you have to do is fill it out, and you can move guys around and have your own mock draft. And whoever's closest will win. Seriously, an awesome prize from our sponsors. And our sponsors are awesome. So please come enjoy some time with us at Banquet Cinema Pub.
There's no way Jay is there.
20th. No, there's Jay. He says he's going to be there.
There's no way.
I'm starting to question if he even lives in Oklahoma.
Guys, I had to make a last-minute trip to Tokyo, Japan.
Right. Man, the Warriors just did not look like themselves at all last night.
It was a fun game to watch. I very much enjoyed it.
It was fun. They weren't like their offense kind of sputtered. Curry had a good game. Clay had a good shooting game, but I didn't feel like Clay really had that big of an impact on everything. And then nobody else really contributed.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the Warriors were off. It didn't feel like they were off. It felt like they were getting some good shots, but every time, like when they do this thing with the Warriors in the half court where they pass the ball around 12 times and Steph's running around and everyone's just running around and it's mayhem.
Yeah.
I thought the Raptors did such a good job of keeping a player on a Warrior player during those times.
Yeah.
I really thought the Raptors were great. And Clay, I'm kind of surprised he only had 21 because it felt like every time the Raptors were starting to pull away, Clay would hit a three that would keep the Warriors back in it. It was every single time.
Yeah.
Until then.
The problem was that the Warriors just couldn't get consecutive stops.
Yeah.
On the Raptors.
No, they couldn't. No.
And they usually go on these big runs, like 15-2 runs. And that's how they win games. And that's how they won the Portland series. And that's how they swept Portland, is that they would go on these massive runs, and they weren't able to do that last night. Maybe they'll be able to do it in game 2. But for last night, they to me, that's why they didn't look like the Warriors, is they weren't getting stops. That team, it felt like the Raptors were kind of getting a lot of really good looks. They got a lot of open threes. They were just really trying to shut Kawhi down. And Kawhi ended up with just 20. What was he score? 23 points.
23.
5 of 14. He went to the free throw line 12 times, which is what got him his points. But they didn't shut everybody else down. And I think that you have to be concerned if you're Golden State because Kyle Lowry didn't have a good offensive game. I thought he had a great defensive game. I thought he played really well. But he didn't score. And he's going to score at home. That's going to happen. He was 2 of 9. He had 7 points, 9 assists, 6 boards. But he was a plus 11. I think that number is more indicative of how he played last night. But there's going to be a game where he takes 15, 16 shots and, makes 10 of them. Like, I promise you that it's going to happen one time at home for him.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the shot charts right now, or shot distribution. It's kind of weird because that game the flow of the game last night was so good. I thought the officials did a great job. It was such a refreshing game because it wasn't just one team jacking up as many jump shots as they can as quickly as they can. Houston. Golden State only took 78 total shots, and the Raptors only took 77. And then it was 33 threes for Raptors and 31 for the Warriors. It just felt so much more even, and the flow was better. And 77 shots for a team in a game this year is not like that many.
Right.
That's not a lot of shots. But the game did not feel slow at all. No. It felt jam-packed the whole time. I was pumped up, man. I have not been that pumped up watching playoff basketball since the Thunder were in the playoffs.
Got to mention Marc Gasol as well. He had 20 points on 10 shots last night. 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He was awesome.
He was awesome.
Really, the whole starting lineup. Danny Green played really well. He had 3 threes. They all played well. And then Van Vliet is great off the bench for them. He hit that wild shot toward the end of the game that kind of felt like it sealed it. It was like, okay, this is the Raptors night.
Totally.
He's awesome. He played 33 minutes last night. Kawhi played 43. Siakam played 40. Everybody else played like a fine number of minutes. And if you're Golden State, like, you don't have enough guys. Like, you just don't. And you got to play Curry more than 40 minutes. You got to play Clay more than 39 minutes. Draymond's got to play more. And now that Andre Iguodala is out, and it doesn't seem like Kevin is going to come back for game 2. We don't know that he's out, but it looked like he pulled his hamstring, and that's not a good thing. And so if they're missing him, like, they probably slot in Alfonso McKinney, who played 8 minutes tonight.
No, that's not good.
And to me, like, I don't know why they played so many guys. I don't know why
they played 11 guys.
Like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you playing Jordan Bell? Like,
I think because they didn't know how to fill like these spots. It felt like Steve Kerr was trying everyone to see, like, okay, I need to figure out who's going to play in this series and who's not, which really is not the best situation in the finals.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, I don't know why you're playing Cousins, Looney, and Bell and Jerebko. Like, why are you playing all those guys? Like, I don't get that. But it's good for the Raptors because it doesn't seem like they know exactly what to do. Like, they played 4 guys 8 minutes. Like, why are you doing that? Why don't you give those minutes to the guys you know that are good? Like, even give more minutes to Sean Livingston. Give more minutes to Kevon Looney. Like, those guys are good. I'm sure that Warriors fans, and I'm confident that if you went to Warriors Reddit, that you would see a lot of that.
Yeah, totally.
But it's all very great. It's really fun to watch them lose. Here's what I don't want to happen. This is the opposite of a dream scenario.
Scenario.
This is a nightmare scenario where they're down 2-0. Kevin comes back in game 3.
Yeah.
And Kevin is their savior. And it's
Boo.
Like, that would not be cool.
Boo. Why did you even put that out there in the world?
Dude, I thought about that last night too. And that is like, even just thinking about it gave me a knot in my stomach.
I know. And the Warriors really do need Kevin Durant. Like, please don't do this. Don't do this.
Well,
Stop.
and here's the truth of it. their issue without Kevin Durant is a lack of depth. They cannot have a very deep team this year because they had 4 max like superstar players on their team.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
right.
the only reason that they're not deep. Like if Kevin Durant wasn't on this team, do you think they would be like playing 11 guys in the first game of the finals trying to
No.
figure out who's going to play?
No.
No way, because they would have a good bench. They would have like their Maurice Spates or like their Leandro Barbosa. Like they would have
Mhm.
these guys figured out from the whole year. And they don't have that because they haven't needed to have anyone off the bench.
Well, and if they didn't sign DeMarcus Cousins and they brought in like 2 guys that were good
Yeah.
instead, like that's
Yeah.
something they could have done. Like they could have done that, but they took the risk with Cousins and he's gotten hurt twice. And now you have Kevin Durant that's hurt, and then like both those guys are out, and Iguodala's out now. I don't know if he's out, but it seems like he's going to be.
Yeah.
Like man, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. It's a risky take. It's a risky take having all these all stars. Now the poor Warriors only have 3. They're
Well,
stuck with 3 all stars.
And you
Poor
know,
Warriors.
early in the Warriors run, like when they won the first, maybe their first or second, they were having to play like all these hurt teams all the time.
Oh yeah.
And no one really talked about it. But if they have hurt players right now, people are going to give them the benefit of having hurt players. They're going to give them a way out of this, like media members. I mean, and I don't understand why. I don't know why the media loves them so much. Is it because the general public hate them?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. They're trying to balance out the force.
Yeah, it's weird they think they're that powerful. I mean, they kind of are that powerful. They do. The NBA did give them the power of deciding how much money their players get.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
I, for one, enjoy it and like it and wish that the media had more power to control the amount of money that players made.
Dude, Pascal Siakam would have got a $50 million max after the second game this year. Can we talk about that? He is unbelievable. I will say it.
Say it.
But like when people were starting to say, some nerds got so lucky that he turned out being this good.
That's
because
so true.
they were calling it after like 2 games, dude.
Mhm.
This started so early, and there's no way you could have known he was going to put up 32 points in the finals.
Well, and but the same nerds that were talking about him being so good completely detracted everything they said after this last series because they're like, oh yeah, we don't even know, can they even play Pascal? Should he even be taking these shots? People were saying that about him going into the finals, and he just in your face, everybody, because I believed in Pascal this whole time. I was the leader of the clubhouse.
You know why you believed? Because you actually waited to have an opinion about him until you saw, wait, is he actually going to be this good all year? And then you said, yes, he is.
And the Jeremy Grant comparisons that people have are just wrong for one reason. It's that he has incredible feel for the game, incredible touch, incredible feel for the game. He can really handle. Like the Thunder are never going to throw the ball to Jeremy Grant to bring the ball up the court in a playoff game, let alone an NBA Finals game. Pascal, he's special. He's special.
Yeah, I mean, there were times when Pascal was driving and would do a little spin move, and Kawhi was kind of open or asking for the ball, and Pascal just did his own thing anyway and maybe put up a shot or pass to someone else and didn't just give it to Kawhi, and it didn't feel weird that he did that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It felt like he deserves that respect, and he is that team's second best player.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing that gives Toronto a chance to win this series is, one, their defense is incredible. And then two, they're an incredibly smart team. Like Siakam's a really smart player. Obviously, Kawhi's a brilliant player. Marcus Gasol, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green. All those guys are brilliant basketball players. Fred VanVleet.
Conveniently living out Serge Ibaka.
We know Serge's limitations, but he's at least he's an experienced player. We can say that about him. But But those guys are all really smart basketball players that make the right plays and know how to pass. They can all those guys can, with the exception of Danny Green, can kind of pass, shoot, and dribble.
Yeah.
Danny Green cannot dribble, and that was on full display in the fourth quarter last night when he tried to put the ball on the floor just to get out of a mess.
Yeah.
But all those guys are very smart players, and with Kawhi and Danny Green, like they've been there before. Serge Ibaka, he's been there before. Like those guys aren't scared of the moment. And after the game, they didn't celebrate like they had done anything, which I thought was awesome. Like they just walked through the tunnel, serious, ready for the next game. I thought it was awesome. And shout out to Nick Nurse and what he's been able to do. He coached like a small professional basketball team here in like a small town in Oklahoma a long time ago.
What?
Yeah, like the semi-pro league. He coached here, which is just funny. We talked to him before they played the Thunder earlier this season, and he was awesome. And we're like, where did he come from? And like we looked up. I think Brett Dawson looked up who he'd been with before, and I said, he coached in Oklahoma? Like what? Like he's a guy that has literally worked his way up from nothing all the way to being the head coach of the Raptors in the NBA Finals. Like he's just awesome. And after you talk to him, you're like, that's just like a guy. Like he's just a dude just hanging out with us. He's wearing like this Raptors cardigan when he was talking to us. He's awesome. Like he's just the man, and I'm super happy for him too, because he's a guy that's just really worked for it and has gotten there as a first year coach. Not like Steve Kerr was a first year coach. Cool. Like Steve Kerr, he got that job because he's freaking Steve Kerr, and he's obviously a great coach, but still, like if Steve Kerr was just like a guy that never played in the league or anything, like he wouldn't have this job, And so like Nick Nurse, like just shout out, man. He's the man.
I think it says a lot about the Raptors that like it's so easy to love them, and they are the team that has Drake like on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like it says a lot about the Raptors to overpower how annoying Drake is.
No. And then he got into it with Draymond.
That's so dumb.
Dude. And he's wearing a
dumb.
Del Curry Raptors jersey. Like he has a Steph and a KD tattoo on his body.
I know. And he covered him up with a band of some sort.
And he's like talking trash to Steph. And dude, he is the biggest. I hate him. I actually hate him.
He's pretty bad. The worst thing is going to be if Toronto wins, Drake is going to be, it's going to be like he was a player for them. Like he's going to take huge parts in the celebration, and it's going to be pretty bad.
He'll be on a float.
Without a doubt, he'll be on a float.
Oh, yeah. He'll be performing on the float. He'll change like lyrics of his songs.
Oh. Okay, so Nick Nurse coached the Oklahoma Storm, which is a team in Enid, Oklahoma. They play in the Mark Price Arena at the Chisholm Trail Expo Center. In 2001, he was the assistant coach for the Oklahoma Storm, and in 2005, he was the assistant coach for the Oklahoma Storm. And then he was the Iowa Energy coach from 2007 to 11. And then he was the Rio Grande Valley Vipers head coach, which is a G League team, for a couple years. And then he was an assistant for the Raptors for 5, and then the head coach. Just unbelievable. In 2005, he was the assistant coach for a team in Enid, Oklahoma.
Dude. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the Oklahoma Storm's head coach in 2002.
Yes.
What?
Nick Nurse not on his staff. He had moved on to the Brighton Bears from 2001 to 2000. Wait a minute. 2000, and right after he was coaching the Storm. It seems like he coached the Brighton Bears and the Oklahoma Storm at the same time. Anyways,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lived in Enid?
You don't remember Kareem coaching that team?
No.
It was very short-lived.
Well, he won the championship.
And then he was off to coach the Lakers. Not okay. Moving on to
Twitter questions. Our first Twitter question comes from @HoneyBadger5719, who says that Toronto fired their coach, traded the face of their franchise, and made it to the finals. Would you fire Billy and trade Russ if OKC was guaranteed to make it to the finals the following year?
I mean, wouldn't you?
Well-
I mean, are we rooting for the Thunder or are we rooting for Russell Westbrook? Is what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think who's Russell being replaced by?
it would have to be Russell Westbrook for Anthony Davis, right? Like if we're talking like a realistic situation. I mean, obviously that's not realistic. I don't think the Pelicans aren't doing that deal. But let's say they did. Let's say they wanted to. And they offered that package. I think if you're the Thunder, I don't know if you say yes to that.
Here's the
But
thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, DeMar DeRozan to Toronto was what Russell Westbrook is to Oklahoma City. That's what they felt about him.
Yeah.
When they traded him, it was like a betrayal.
Yeah.
And that's changed pretty quickly.
It's
DeMar
changed
DeRozan-
pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of Raptors fans really talking about DeMar anymore. They seem pretty happy with Kawhi.
Yeah,
And
Kyle Lowry's not sad about his friend being gone anymore.
no, he's not really sad anymore. I think he was crying during the national anthem, like yesterday.
That's
Kyle
awesome.
Lowry.
That's cool.
And it would be like pretty foolish to think that we wouldn't be the same way.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if let's say they do the deal that everybody loves to believe could be real, but is not realistic at all, where you trade Russell Westbrook and Steven Adams for Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis, and then the Thunder go on to reach the NBA Finals next year with Paul George, Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday. You know, how would you?
We'd love.
Yeah, we'd love that. That would be super awesome. And then, and then they replace like what's the equivalent of Oklahoma City's Nick Nurse? Like I don't know.
Well, that's the equivalent is you don't know it yet because who the hell knew who Nick Nurse was before this year?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, who's the current coach of the Oklahoma or that team in Enid?
Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers comes in and coaches. Yeah, that would be unbelievable. It's something that just by the way, that's not a blueprint for
Boom.
going to the finals.
NBA Finals. We just did
Hell
it.
no.
We cracked the code.
I can't believe that the Raptors are like it's amazing that the Raptors are this good.
It's amazing. You know, and like getting Danny Green in that deal was a huge thing for them too.
Oh my God. I know that he was inconsistent during the season, but it's like if you're trying to go to the finals, you really do just have to trade. It's the same with Marc Gasol. Like there
Yeah.
were points in the season when the discussion was like, oh, Marc Gasol not really fitting in with this team. Like he's not really the same player.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe you want to get to the finals and you're going to get there, you have to trade for the players that you know will perform in the finals. And that's kind of what I was thinking about last night was like, these are guys that not a lot of people talked about during the regular season, but
Yeah.
they were huge tonight. And they just like, I don't know. Those are the guys you have to go for.
Yeah, who on the Thunder would you say are finals players?
Who's been there besides Russ?
I mean, who would you trust to play in the NBA Finals? That's on our team.
I mean, not Ferguson.
Okay.
I think Grant would be okay. Like all I can say, I don't know. I don't even know if I'd trust. Right now, I'm saying this. Okay, this could change. I don't even know if I would trust Russell Westbrook in the finals to lead this team.
That's a very
I don't trust
interesting
him in the
statement.
first round. It's an interesting statement. I don't know if it's one I'll believe in the
I mean,
future.
okay. So the guys that let's say this team theoretically made it to the finals, like Russell, they're not benching Russell Westbrook.
No.
But Paul, Russell, Adams, Jeremy, and I mean Schroeder. I'd probably trust Schroeder to play in the finals. And then, like, do they have more than 5 guys?
No, I can't even remember our bench players right now.
You gotta bring,
Terrence. I mean, they're gonna have to replace a bunch of these guys.
you gotta bring back Nick Collison at that point.
Right.
You know, trusted hand.
Patrick Patterson. You trust Patrick Patterson?
No.
Patrick Patterson had this Instagram post the other day where he was Instagramming while driving and then typed into the caption, I don't understand why people get into car wrecks.
That's phenomenal. I am just ready for me to see, like, I'm mentally ready to see a death on Instagram of someone driving me, like, I don't know, and then car wreck, and then just horrible injury. Like,
It's gonna be
one, Patrick, keep Instagramming while driving, and then you'll come to understand it quickly.
That is so wild.
He just doesn't understand it. It's an accident. Like, people call them car accidents for a reason. Because, like, no one wants it to happen. He just doesn't get it. It's just beyond him. It's beyond his understanding.
You know, I do kind of agree with what he's saying, because if everyone paid attention, as much attention as they should, would there be any accidents?
Yes, there would be a ton still.
There's still
like,
why?
Because, like, your tires can just be driving, doing everything right, and your tire can blow out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
You can have malfunctions.
Okay.
These are machines.
Like, you could be driving and then you could sneeze and then just go, Achha!
People have strokes while they're driving. Crash.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay. I'm not on Patrick Patterson's side. You know what? That would not be the kind of veteran player or leadership.
That's the kind of leadership you cannot trust in the NBA Finals.
That needs to be a question that Sam asks every player before he signs them to any sort of contract. Hey, what's your view on car accidents?
How old is Patrick Patterson?
Patterson is
too old to be saying that.
29.
For a 29-year-old man to fall for a Ligma balls joke in 2018, 2019, that just tells you he doesn't got it.
Yeah, he fell for that. No, he's 30. He just turned 30 in March. But yeah, that and the car accident thing.
Accidents. Not good.
I'm beginning to understand why he was so putrid for the Thunder this year.
He's so big into watches that he wanted to know more about a watch company named Ligma. That's wild.
He tweeted, "No, I've never." Just unbelievable.
Oh, man. Hey, guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It is from @TrustTheVoid. He says, in honor of Rob Pelinka's insane lie about Kobe meeting Heath Ledger after he was dead, what is the dumbest lie you ever told? That Laker story, especially that part where he's telling this story about Kobe, like how intense Heath Ledger was as a Joker after Kobe saw the movie, that he set up this dinner for them and that Kobe brought that energy to the Knicks game that night, is insane.
It's crazy. And the fact that he's telling the story to The Rock and to all the young Lakers players.
The Rock has to know. He's like, I know that this person is dead, but then he's like, well, what does he know that I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, he's telling the lie with such gravitas that you just can't. You're in the moment. I'm sure you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Did he have dinner with Heath Ledger's soul? Like, maybe he did. Like, maybe they were able to arrange that.
Yeah, they had a seance.
And some people are like, well, Kobe probably got the movie early. He probably got the movie earlier than everybody. It's like, no, that's not what happened. There was actually, in the Baxter Holmes article, it says sources with knowledge of the situation said that never happened. And it may be it may be Kobe. Like, Kobe may have been like, yeah, I'd never had dinner with Heath Ledger.
That's wild.
It bothers me that some people would rather believe, like, a sports agent story about Kobe talking to Heath Ledger than what a journalist says about it. You know, like when people are like, well, Kobe probably got a screening early. Why are you saying he lied?
Yeah.
I'm always like, why do you want this story? Why do you want him to not be a liar?
Yeah. Like Baxter
Why do
Holmes
you
is
want-
like losing sleep at night because he's like worked so hard in this story and you know wants the information to get out there, and he's heard the story not from like one person. You know, when guys do
Yeah.
these stories, they hear them from like 5 or 6 people, like the
Oh, yeah.
same story before you publish it. You're not just, I mean, especially for ESPN, like it's a very credible source. And so everything that he put out there, I'm sure that he has probably hundreds of stories that are probably just as crazy that he couldn't publish because
Yeah.
he only heard them maybe once from somebody that he maybe it didn't happen. But he put everything out there that he knew for sure happened. And it's just, I mean, that Lakers organization is, we have another Lakers question here in a second, but it's just great.
Okay, here's the dumbest lie I ever told.
Okay.
Freshman year of college,
Uh-huh.
like I just gotten Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was just like talking. I was like, you can put anything on Facebook and people will believe it.
Yeah.
So I put as my little like status that I was transferring to Pepperdine.
I remember that.
But it said I'm peppering to Transferdine. And I was like, so I'll see if people believed it. And then I made a going away party for myself that was scheduled for the OU OSU football game because I knew no one would go. So like made it to where something and did all the stuff about it. And I didn't transfer. I wasn't transferring. But then I came home like from school and there were multiple made from that summer and multiple people were like, oh my gosh, how's California? Like how, like, have you liked it? Like you're out, like, and I'm just like, I made that up. Like, that's not, but it had like repercussions and other things in my life.
Yep.
And it was, and I just did it to just see what would happen.
This wasn't a lie. It was just it was a Facebook experiment that I did in college. And I just believed that Facebook was taking over the world. And so I thought whatever you put on Facebook becomes your new reality. And so I just doubled my last name on Facebook. I just made my name Andrew Schlecht. And the day I did that, people called me Schlecht. And people for years called me that. And I it's just because I doubled my last name. I was like, I'm gonna do something just so small, just gonna double my last name, and it's just unbelievable.
It was a lie.
It was
not your last name.
That's true. It's not my middle and
So
last name.
So it was a lie.
Yeah, it was a lie, but it was unbelievable. Just crazy. Taylor, you have a lie?
Yeah, it was from when I was a little kid. I'm sure I have like way dumber ones, but I can't remember them. But here's one. When I was a little kid, for some reason I wanted to trick my parents. So I went outside. They saw me go outside. I went around the side of the house. I pooped on the side of the house. And then I came back in and I said, Mom, Dad, a dog came in our backyard and pooped. We didn't have a dog. And so they were like, no, you pooped. And I was like, what? No, a dog came in our backyard and pooped. And they're like, basically it was so obvious to them because they watched me go outside. I was probably already had my pants around my butt by the time I was out there. Come back around the corner and say that a dog pooped.
It is impossible for me to think about you as a child not wearing that Darth Maul t-shirt.
Well, that's actually the only thing I ever wore.
It makes a lot of sense.
Hey, Taylor, you've actually told that story on the pod before.
I have?
Yeah. I remember it.
It's one of the only stories I remember.
It's good.
How old were you?
I don't know. 13, 14.
No way. There's no way you were that old. How old were you really?
Okay, I was
7 or
embarrassed.
8.
I was actually 16, 17.
Because I don't think you actually remember doing that. I think you remember your parents retelling that story.
You know what they say about memories? Like so here's the thing. In my head, I do have a memory of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think my brain could have created that memory based on stories I've heard my parents tell.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true.
Wow.
Hey guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from
question.
@Paul R. Valentine, who says, "Which celebrity should we draft to be the Thunder's Drake, and how many games will it take until Russ has a fight with them?"
Thunder's Drake.
You know who I wish.
but Russell wouldn't be having fights with our Drake, would he?
Well, I don't know. Would he?
Don't the Raptors players like Drake?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is who I would nominate. They
Okay.
have to have an Oklahoma connection.
I mean, they have to.
I would say Bill Hader. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Nick
you need somebody kind of that's going to be outrageous at the game. Will Bill Hader be outrageous at the game?
No, but I don't think we have anyone like that.
I think we do.
Who?
Garth Brooks would be outrageous at the games.
See,
like
I would
that.
say let's get.
He's weird. Like he's super duper weird.
I
And
agree.
Drake is super duper weird.
I agree with that. Let's get Blake Shelton then. More mainstream, more like in the now. Garth Brooks. I mean,
he's a legend. He's a
I
country music legend.
I know, but I just
What do
don't
you mean?
know.
I know. What is
I
that
just don't know.
face?
I just don't know if he's out there going to be wilding out at the games, at the Thunder games.
I think he would.
But like Blake
think
Shelton and Gwen Stefani going wild for the Thunder.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
We need somebody that's going to do annoying things, but not knowing that they're super annoying.
Reba?
Reba?
I think it's Reba.
Reba.
I think it's Reba.
It's a country music star. Toby Keith.
I think it's Blake Shelton.
Blake
Toby Keith could be good. Toby Keith could be real good.
I don't know if he's relevant enough for you, Luke.
Toby Keith?
hate Keith,
I
man.
love Tobes. I love Toby Keith.
I've heard so many bad stories about like how he treats people. He treats people like trash. Toby Keith is out. You know who's in? All-American Rejects.
See, now we're talking. Okay, no one's going to know who that is. Like,
Yeah.
who is
that's
this?
true.
2002's All-American Rejects.
Hey,
That's
is
why.
that Sum 41? Is that Blink 182? Who is that?
Yeah, they're like, this group of like wayward teens that showed up, but they're all 40.
So I think it's got to be Blake Shelton.
Brooks. Blake Shelton with Gwen Stefani.
Hold on. I'm still not happy with that.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
Let's move on to the next question. If you have something, just
All right.
interject it.
Oh
at
my
any
God,
time.
Dr. Phil's from Oklahoma.
Dr. Phil's from Oklahoma. Is he really?
Yes. He's from Veneta, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, he needs to open up a restaurant. Dr. Phil's, I love this barn girl. Hey, our next Twitter question comes from @_Sternlicht _ who says Klay Thompson continues to be disrespected by his peers after not making an All-NBA team. Should he consider signing with the Knicks as a way to repair his image, bolster his legacy, and get his own team and get out of what will always be known as Curry's dynasty? I don't agree with that. They're the Splash Brothers.
They're the Splash Bros. I also like Klay. What's Klay doing on his own team? Like he's not a guy that can create a ton for himself. Like his best skill is catch and shoot. Taylor, are you vacuuming?
Taylor's on a plane. Just took off.
No, I think it's a soundboard thing. Nothing happened.
Is your wife vacuuming at 7:22 a.m.?
Wow. That's sexist. Taylor could be vacuuming.
I
Or
don't
his dogs could be vacuuming.
I don't think Taylor's vacuuming. Okay.
Nothing in my environment has changed.
Anyways, I understand the question, but also
Next question.
Oh, dang. All right, our next Twitter question comes from @CadeMaters1, who wants to know, with the Rockets' public ally declaring a competitive fire sale, are there any realistic Thunder Rockets trades that make sense for both teams?
I don't think
Public
so.
ally, I think he's saying publicly,
Yeah.
but that's not what he wrote.
I don't think there are deals that make sense for both teams because both teams have the same goal, right? Like both teams are trying to do the same thing. And like, why would the people like, oh, go get PJ Tucker? Why would the Rockets deal PJ Tucker to the Thunder for like a package that makes them worse? I mean, the Rockets' goal is to get better. The Thunder's goal is to get better. I don't think that they can make each other better. I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't think that there's a deal that makes sense. But also within all of this, I think that the Rockets are kind of a mess right now, which is awesome. And they're trying, like, I think that they genuinely obviously want to get better. They want to, but they're, to me, they're not that far off with what they have now. I think they just need to make some tweaks. But like putting everybody out there in trades, I don't think is very smart. I think that is hurtful to your team. I think the new owner, Tillman Fertitta, is kind of a weirdo. Alex Spears at Al Baby Kicks retweeted this video that has Tillman Fertitta and Daryl Morey answering questions, and Fertitta's like, when they asked him about D'Antoni, he like even said like he was glad. He felt like the agent did them a favor by stopping the contract negotiations, because if they're not as good as they want to be next year, they can just fire him and not have to pay him. He said that like publicly. It's like, wow. Like if he's saying that publicly, like what's happening behind closed doors? Like who is this dude? Like he seems kind of crazy, which is really exciting. So I don't know what the Rockets will do. I don't know how you trade that Chris Paul contract and get better players back. I don't know how that happens when you have to find a very desperate team. I don't know. And if you think that like trading Chris Paul for Alonzo Ball is the answer to all your problems, like please do it. That would be very exciting for me.
Hakuna Frittata is such a weirdo, and it's never a good sign when your owner likes to be like on camera this much talking about basketball stuff.
Yeah,
and he's kind of new. Like has that ever been good?
No. Can you imagine Clay Bennett standing next to Sam Presti and interjecting his own opinion about basketball matters?
No. Well, and I guess he's like trying to be like Mark. What's his name?
Cubes.
Oh my goodness, he's very far from a Cubes.
Taylor, will you repeat his name?
Hakuna Frittata.
Cool.
What about it?
It means no worries.
His name is
For the Rocket days.
Tillman Fertitta.
It's spicy frittata.
What is Tillman?
I don't know.
Tillman? That's Oprah's boyfriend's name, Tillman.
J.R.
Is it
Tillman.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a last name.
No, I think it's his first name.
It is his first name.
I think it's his first name, Tillman.
But it is a last name.
He's the like only boyfriend of Oprah. No, Oprah's just stringing him along.
I literally.
I'd go along for that ride. Did you guys say Oprah?
Hold on. This is from @TrustAvoid. Should Clay Bennett get a Twitter avatar like Jeannie Buss?
Have you guys seen her avatar?
Her Twitter avatar, Taylor. Have you seen it?
You should go.
No, I'm about to check it out.
Yeah, look at it.
Are you loving the notes?
If you're
it's
listening,
in there. Stop what you're doing and look at.
Here's the
Buss.
thing. Here's the thing with Jeannie Buss. Why did everyone assume that she was just a brilliant basketball person? And also look at her Twitter profile. It's been that for a long time. Years.
That's an old pic too.
It's an
that
old,
is like not recent.
It's an old picture. It's really weird. It's racy. It's awkward. It's so weird.
For those of you that are listening and have internet access to listen to us, but do not have internet access to look at Twitter, she's laying like on a bed of some, or maybe like it looks like she's on a car, but it's upside down, so her hair's all out, and she's holding a pair of basketballs like they are her jugs, and she's nude.
Yeah,
and it's pretty wild.
That should have been like the first sign, like maybe this shouldn't be the key decision maker for a basketball franchise.
That's wild.
It's crazy. It is wild, and I imagine any other NBA owner having a Twitter profile and it looking like that.
Can I recreate this picture and we use it as our Twitter profile?
I will wear, yes. 1, yes. 2, that photo, we'll put it on a t-shirt.
Oh, that's wild. That's
I
a
was just
wild
thinking
picture.
that T-shirt would be in like Urban Outfitters or something, like on a black T-shirt, just a photo of Genie Bus holding
Yeah.
2 B-balls
I
as
thought you
her
were gonna say
juggos.
Luke. Photo of Luke doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looked good.
Yes. photo of
Anyways,
Luke.
it's like this
Listen,
whole Lakers
I'll-
situation is just gotten to be a beyond crazy situation. And it's not like they're still in a decent position to turn this all around. But like if you're a Lakers fan, like do you trust that ownership group now and the management they have in place that they are not going to remove? Like they had an opportunity when Magic left to wipe the slate clean and go get somebody that's competent. And they decided not to even hold any interviews or make any offers to anybody. I mean, I would be super concerned. Like you have LeBron, sweet, that's great, but like how invested is LeBron James in winning championships right now? Would be my question. Like I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know the answer to that question though.
I think he cares about it, but not enough to like. I don't know, man.
He cemented his legacy already.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Do you think LeBron James is going to win a championship for the Lakers?
No.
No.
Okay.
I just want you guys to remember my hot take was that they wouldn't make the playoffs.
It's
this
true.
year.
You were correct.
I hot taked it and I was right. And I'm right so not often. That I'm very proud of that one.
It was good. You saw this coming. You saw the Genie Bus photo and you knew.
I knew. No, I've obviously never seen that Genie Bus photo.
You've never seen that before?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's been
Because that is shocking.
It's been that way for years.
Hey guys, I have one more question for you. But before I ask it, I want to talk to you about Oklahoma Shirt Company. Oklahoma Shirt Company. They are the greatest. They got their $10 shirt of the month club. $10 a month gets you an Oklahoma themed shirt every month. Also, they have Texas themed shirts, Arkansas themed shirts, maybe a Kansas, Arkansas, and some others that are around this area. But they can also help Tetheth. They can also help you design and print your own shirts for events that you have, upcoming events.
Numetato.
They can help you out. Hawaii. No, you can't really do it with the list of Hawaii. Hawaii. They can help you make and create your own shirts for your own events. They have special rates for churches, stuff like that, schools, things like that. They're here to help you, and they're great to work with. Check them out. Support those that support us. Oklahoma Shirt Company. Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
Taylor, are you miffed or are you peeved?
It's been a rainy summer Mitch up here, boys.
Are you okay up there?
It's been flooding like crazy, man. What's been annoying is whenever I take my dogs out,
They just float away.
They're just sopping wet every time. I have to dry them off every damn time they come back in the house. I'm miffed about that.
Yeah.
The dang man, my house flooded a little bit. Not that much. Just under the door a little bit. Piffed about that.
Still not cool.
I don't think that's a flood. I don't think your house flooded. I think
It
little
flooded,
bit of water
dude.
got in.
When I say a little bit, I'm gonna say it was 4 cubic feet.
Yeah.
Does that count? Like I can say this. My dining room flooded a little bit. There we go.
Okay. That's better.
Thank you.
I've been in a living situation that has flooded, and
Yeah.
it is not that what you described.
Wow, hurricane.
Hey man, I'm
Must
just
have been-
saying.
Must have been so hard.
I'm just saying, man. What you described is a lot different than my flooding situation.
I know, I'm kidding. Hurricanes are terrible. I'm more miffed and peeved about hurricanes than ever.
No, wet dogs. I get it.
No. Drawing off dogs way worse than what Luke experienced.
Yeah, man, dude, you got it. I'm sorry you've been through that.
You're the one who brought in this 8-year-old thing to compare it to.
Hey man, but that was then. This is now, man. I feel for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, an apartment flooding 8 years ago is the equivalent of drying off dogs today.
Yeah.
In 2019,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
this political climate, absolutely.
yeah. In the age of the internet, drying off your dog and having a puddle in your dining room is way worse.
Way worse.
Oh, it's terrible.
Andrew, you miffed and you peeved at all?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what about.
I'm just
But
miffed.
just constantly miffed. I woke up real late today. I was just sleeping so hard.
Hey man, I feel you. You gotta put your attitude on a smiling latitude. That's what you need to do.
That's true. That's true.
Wasn't there another saying like that?
I don't know.
I don't know what it was. I'm not really miffed or peeved, or miffed or piffed.
Make sure you join us at our NBA draft party.
Yeah, if you don't come to that,
June
I
20th.
will be miffed.
Make plans.
If I show up and it's
be there.
just me, and this is a joke that everyone's playing on me, I'm going to be miffed
Yep.
and peeved. But it's going to be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Hey, if you need more basketball content, you can listen to me. I'll be on the franchise basketball show tomorrow from 12 to noon. 107.7.
Whoa, that's cool.
So you can listen to me there. It'll be fun. Me and John Hamm.
Nice.
And then
Hey,
go ahead, Taylor.
yeah. I was gonna go. You go ahead.
I was going to
figured
say
something out.
June 20th, 6 Banquet Cinema Pub, all ages. I don't care what your age is, you can come. Bring your babies.
Bring all the babies. The more drunk babies, the better.
Taylor,
Hey,
did
I
you have
figured
something to say?
Yeah, I figured out who can be our city mascot.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Chelsea Manning,
Who?
the transgender army
Oh, Taylor, we lost him.
scandal.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Taylor. Thanks for ending the pod with that.
Chelsea Manning.
Who's that? The secret giver.
So she